to do that. And while we're doing that, I would just like to welcome everyone to the August Town Board meeting. Certainly the summer is flying by, and hope everyone is staying safe, wearing their face coverings, practicing social distancing while still enjoying our many beautiful assets here in our town, our beaches, marinas, parks, and certainly the waterfront. This past storm, the town of Islip has sustained much tropical storm force winds caused by the storm, causing heavy limbs to fall, damaging fences, residents' property, taking down power lines, and leaving many roads impassable. As of this morning, approximately 99% of our roadways are open, and any remaining closures would likely be due to any downed PSE&G electric lines. And we will continue, as we have this past week, working closely with PSE&G to assist in restoring power to all our residents. Our crews will be working 7 days a week until all of the debris is removed. We will continue with the special one-time bulk collection of debris over the next several weeks until the town is all clear. In the meantime, please try to follow DEC guidelines regarding your regularly scheduled garbage pickup. You can go to the website to see exactly what that is. Certainly some things can be put out at the curb. This certainly will help in our cleanup efforts. The town will not be picking up any debris that's been put out by private contractors. And if there are any questions, you can dial 224-5600 or 224-5380 for any storm-related questions, any day 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Everyone at the town, and I say everyone, it's absolutely remarkable, you know, DPW, Parks, DEC, everyone is pulling together to help move the process along as quickly as possible. And we really, really appreciate their efforts and appreciate the patience of the public. I think for the most part, people understand, you know, an act of God like this, but we are doing the best we can. And certainly on a lighter note, our Monday night movies, you know, the storm hit on Tuesday, so our Monday night movies have not been affected. Last Monday night at Casamento Park, there were over 206-7 cars there. I think some of those who didn't have power, it was a perfect place to go. But consistently, every Monday night, we've been hitting those that range of about 200. So this has really proven to be a very popular event that we were able to provide our residents during this challenging pandemic time. And I want to thank Good Samaritan Hospital for their sponsorship of this. So we will move now to the formal portion of the meeting and would ask to call the meeting to order. I will call that meeting to order right now. And we will begin this afternoon with our scheduled public hearings for the board's consideration. There are 4 of them, as I mentioned. I would ask the town clerk, Olga Murray, to please read the hearing notice.
Thank you. Today's first hearing is to consider adopting the Solid Waste Management Plan for planning years 2019 through 2028.
Are there any questions from the board on this? Are there any speakers on this?
I'll speak, Supervisor.
Certainly.
This is the draft solid waste management plan. Is a hearing for that. At the end of the hearing, we'll close the hearing because there's a 45-day comment period, which ends actually 8/31/20. That'll be time for anybody to send in either written comments or email their comments. They can send their written comments to the Department of Environmental Control at 401 Main Street, Islip, or they can email their comments to the Commissioner of DEC at islipny.gov. The period that this covers is 2019 to 2028. The town of Islip has a comprehensive solid waste infrastructure to handle the solid waste that's generated through the town. They have a composting facility that's 40 acres. They have a construction and demolition landfill, which handles the C&D material. The waste energy facility, which handles residential municipal solid waste that's generated within the town. It also has a RAP facility, which is a material recovery facility, which separates the biweekly collection of paper and metal, glass, and plastic into the revenue streams that generates revenue for the town. At the end of the comment period, we will prepare a comprehensive responsiveness summary to send to the New York State DEC. This is the final step in getting the solid waste management plan for the town of Islip approved. So as I said, anybody having any comments, they're more than welcome to forward it into the 2 locations I mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marty. Are there any comments from the public? Hearing none, any questions or comments from town board? Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? The hearing is closed. We closed the hearing, but the comment period stays open until August 31st. So as the commissioner said, anyone has any comments can certainly share them before that date. The second public hearing has been adjourned to the next town board meeting, which is September 15th, and would ask the clerk if you would please read the third public hearing notice.
Today's third hearing is to consider the transfer of property, address 47 Oak Street, Islip, under the CDA's direct sale program.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Are there any questions? Any questions? Anyone signed up from the public on this hearing?
We have not.
I'm sorry?
We have not had anyone sign up to speak.
Okay. Thank you, Caitlin. Then I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Thank you. Before we move to the final public hearing, I'm going to make a motion that we take resolution number 4 on today's agenda out of order so that we can consider it before the final public hearing, which is on the capital budget. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Bergen. Thank you. All those in favor? Opposed? So now we have the amendment to the 2020 capital budget before us. Are there any question on that amendment? Hearing none, motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second. Second by Councilman
Second.
Mullen. All those in favor?
I'm
Aye.
sorry, who was the second?
The second was Councilwoman Mullen. Councilman O'Connor make the motion, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Thank you. And now I would ask the clerk to please read the last hearing notice.
Hearing number 5 at this point then is to consider the issuance of the bond necessary for the improvements associated with the relocation of the Islip Exchange Ambulance headquarters.
If you would, Controller Ludwig, Joe, if you would please give us a brief overview on this. And since this is a bond resolution, it's going to require a roll call vote.
Sure. Madam Supervisor, members of the town board, Joseph Ludwig, Controller for the town of Islip, 401 Main Street. The resolution you guys have in front of you for the bonding is hopefully the culmination of a many-year-long attempt to relocate Exchange Ambulance of the Islips. As I'm sure most of you are aware, they are currently located up on Carlton Avenue in what is a convenient location, but not easy for the ambulances to get in and out. The location where we're going to do the improvements, which is the subject of this bond resolution, located at 100 Carlton, has all the perfect requirements that the ambulance company would need. Because it was an old Chevrolet repair shop and then a former DPW yard, it has the bays and the size of everything that will accommodate the ambulance's equipment. Unfortunately, as the world has moved on, they have gotten busier. And with the world that we live in, they need to secure their medicines and their vehicles and stuff. And unfortunately, they've just outgrown their existing facility. So the resolution you guys have on today will allow us to refurbish the existing facility in order to make it more appropriate for their needs. And like I said, it actually will, in their opinion, I don't want to speak for them, but I do believe that this location is actually one that they prefer. It's better suited for their needs as far as the egress and regress. And there will be no lights or anything. I know that has been a concern in the past, but the ambulance company does not plan on having their ambulance sirens go off as they're leaving, so they will not be disturbing the neighborhood.
Thank you very much, Joe. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor, roll call vote.
It has to be a roll call. Madam Supervisor,
Yes.
Councilman Cochran,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bergen,
Councilwoman, you're on mute.
I don't know why I'm on mute. I keep on taking it off. My answer is yes.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Mullen,
Yes.
and Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you very much. We will now move to item number 1 on the agenda, which is the meeting of the town of
Madam
Islip.
Supervisor,
Yes, Councilwoman.
before we go forward, I know we just did the public session, and I know that we're all out of sorts with this new technology that we're doing, but if we could just include the Pledge of Allegiance before we continue, that would be great.
By all means. I would ask then that Councilwoman Bergen please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you so much. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we are now on the item on the agenda, the meeting of the Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency. I'll call for a motion for the board to convene. Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor, opposed, the meeting of the Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency Board is convened, the quorum being present. If you would, Bill Mannix.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the agency board. William Mannix, Executive Director, Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency, 40 Nassau Avenue, Islip. We have a relatively short agenda for you today. The first resolution is the approval of the minutes from the July 21st meeting.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Minutes are approved.
Next item on the agenda is an authorizing resolution for the expansion of the Gullhaven Commons project, currently under construction on Carlton Avenue in Central Islip. This is a 24-unit expansion of an existing housing project on 2.12 acres of adjoining property.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Next item on the agenda is an authorizing resolution for Linus Associates, also known as Max Finkelstein. We introduced this project at our last meeting, and it involves the demolition of a portion of an existing industrial building, the construction of a new separate state-of-the-art industrial building, and the retention of approximately 67,000 square feet of the current 102,000 square foot existing building.
Are there any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Next item on the agenda is the adoption of a resolution appointing a committee for the COVID-19 loan and grant program. I would like to report to the full board that as of this morning, we have 14 applications under this program, 13 of which are for the grant, 1 for the loan.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you for all your work on this, and certainly John and the rest of the department.
You're welcome.
Are there any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
It is approved.
And
The
we'd like
next-
to withdraw the last item on the agenda. It is not needed anymore. This was an amended authorizing resolution for additional monies for a refinancing beyond what we originally authorized. But as of yesterday, we heard back from the company that they are only intending to borrow that which we've already previously authorized.
Terrific. And
Motion
with
to
that,
adjourn?
I think that concludes any of the business to come before us.
There's no other business.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you, Bill, very much.
You're welcome.
Let us move now to the next item on the agenda, the Town of Islip authorization to clean up and secure certain properties in the town. Taryn, if you will, take us through them.
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor, member of the Town Board, Town Clerk, Taryn Jewell, Assistant Town Attorney, 655 Main Street, Islip, New York. Number 1, to clean up the premises located at 0 Crooked Hill Road, Brentwood. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris with a squatter camp, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second. I'll make the second. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
My phone's ringing. Number 2, to board and clean up the premises located at 31 West Suffolk Avenue, Central Islip. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second. By Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Number 3 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 4, to board and clean up the premises located at 51 Kenwood Drive, Brentwood. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, an unsecured in-ground pool, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilwoman Mullen. Thank you. Second
Second.
by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Number 5, to board and clean up the premises located at 60 Brightside Avenue, Central Islip. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, an unsecured shed, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Number 6, to clean up the premises located at 104 Lake Street, Islip. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Are there any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Number 7, to clean up the premises located at 3040 Veterans Memorial Highway, Bohemia. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Are there any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilwoman Mullins, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Number 8, to clean up the premises located at 3355 Veterans Memorial Highway, Waconkama. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with the property interest in this premises.
Thank you. Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second. By Councilman
Sec-
O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed?
Second.
Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Taryn. We will now move to item number 3 on the agenda, which are the appropriation transfers. Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second.
Second.
By Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. We've already considered item number 4. We'll move to item number 5, the bid awards. Any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor. Thank you. Second
Second.
by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Next is the authorization for the supervisor to accept funding from Suffolk County for positive youth development and delinquency prevention programs, youth services, and runaway homeless programs. Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Approved. Next, we'll move to item 7, authorization for the supervisor to accept New York State aid pass-through funds from Suffolk County for youth development and runaway homeless programs. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by
Motion.
Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 8, authorization for the supervisor to apply for and accept funding from the Suffolk County Office for the Aging for an essential transportation program. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 9, authorization for the supervisor to accept grant funding from the Suffolk County Office for the Aging for funding of a supplemental nutrition program in the town of Islip. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman. I think we got Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 10, authorization for the supervisor to execute an application for eligibility to participate in the New York State Office of General Services Federal Surplus Property Program. Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran.
Second.
By Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Item 11, authorization for the supervisor to enter into an agreement with Rosemar Contracting Incorporated for contract DPW 3-2020, a requirements contract and specifications for full depth reclamation of various town roads. Any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second
Second.
by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 12, town board approval to select IDE MIA as the sole supplier of the live scan system equipment, as well as authorized parts, service, and warranty provider for repairs and preventative maintenance services related to the fingerprinting equipment at Long Island MacArthur Airport. Are there any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 13, authorization for the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to consider amending Chapter 68 zoning of the Islip Town Code. I'll make that motion.
Second.
By Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 14, authorization for the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to consider enacting local law 3 of 2020, amending the town code chapter 68-670A1. Motion? I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Madam
I don't-
Supervisor, just
Yes.
so the town clerk's office is aware, it's actually That was a typo. It's actually local law number 2 of 2020. I know that
Okay, thank you.
there was some question about that.
Okay, thank you. Let the record note that we're talking about item local law number 2. Item 15, authorization for the supervisor to enter into an additional agreement with Nelson and Pope Engineers and Surveyors for additional construction oversight services for the Spray Park phase of Roberto Clemente Pool Improvement Project. Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 16, authorization for the supervisor to enter into a professional services agreement with Lyro Group for a site plan review for commercial development within the town of Islip. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilwoman Mullen. Thank you. Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Item 17, town board approval to authorize the extension of the town's agreement with Rollright, not to go beyond December 31st. Are there any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. It appears that there is no other business to come before us. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? We stand adjourned. Everyone, please stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.